Hey y'all, it's Katie and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to dive right into our series on DEKA Zone strategies, talking today about Zone 5, the Ski ERG, and Zone 6, the Farmer Carry. Here we go. With zones 5 and 6 out of 10, that means that we are halfway through our strategy series today, and this marks the middle of our DEKA race. If you missed any in our DEKA series, you can always check out this video for an overview of all 10 zones, and then check out the rest of the playlist for our other strategy videos. But for today, our focus is on the Ski ERG and the Farmer Carry. So, kicking things off with the Ski ERG, the basic rules are that you have to finish 500 meters as quickly as possible. You can use any damper setting you want, but you have to stay on the platform until the screen reads 500 meters. So the rules there are fairly basic, but we can start to customize our ski when we get down to form and strategy. So first off here is form, how you're going to ski. There's a lot of different variations of technique that you can use in order to find the most efficient form for you. So the two most basic forms of technique that you'll see on the ski, number one is the straight and narrow, where you bring the elbows into the rib cage and then you kick the triceps back and then you come all the way back up to the top. And the second is where you come all the way down to the bottom and then you make this big fly around the top. Now, either one of these can become pretty efficient once you get used to them. I personally prefer to do the straight and narrow and just keep those elbows locked in tight and then bring those hands up as quickly as I can back to the top. And once you pick out what your upper body is going to be doing, you can also customize it with how you pull. The most common here is just to find a steady pace and keep that pace throughout the full 500 meters, but some people also enjoy the 2-1 pace. This is where you perform 2 quick, short pulls and then 1 long, powerful pull all the way through your range of motion. And the idea here is that you're able to save a little bit of breath and retain a little bit of that energy because you're only exerting a ton of energy on that 1 big pull instead of on all 3 pulls. And there's also a few other little ways that we can customize the ski to make it even more efficient for you. First one here is that you can stretch your arms up as high as they will go towards the pulleys every single rep, so you're able to lengthen that pull and get a little extra meters every rep. So one way I like to do this is by adding a little calf raise as well. So at 5'5", I'm not super short, but I like to do a calf raise here to get some extra height so I can get a little extra with every pull, gaining a little extra meters every time. And some people like to do what's called a plyo ski here as well, which I personally would not recommend doing. The plyo ski is where you add a jump onto every rep. And so you're rolling off the toes, reaching those arms up as high as you can, and then using the momentum of that jump coming down to help you pull the ski a little extra each pull. But the problem with this is that it's so explosive and it takes up a lot of lower body energy and powerful explosiveness that you might need in the back half, especially with the last 4 elements coming up. So you can give it a try if you want to, but I personally would not recommend it for any of the DEKA events just for the sake of energy conservation. The second way you can customize your ski a bit here is by adding a hook grip onto the ski handles. So I've only heard of a few people using this technique, but in case that your grip strength is not as strong, this might be a good way to lock in your hands so that you're not utilizing that grip strength that you'll need later on those farmer carries. But if your grip strength is doing okay, then you probably won't need that hook grip. And my last big tip here is to really focus in and visualize those lats, those triceps, and those abs performing the work. So focusing on the lats as you bring elbow to rib cage, triceps as you kick the hands back, and then abs as you crunch the torso over to create the ski motion. And if you're not sure where those muscles are or how to visualize those properly, I even have a video on muscle awareness and visualization, so you can check that out for some tips and tricks there. And by focusing on those muscle groups during the ski, then we can use those specific muscle groups here and save other muscle groups for down the line. And speaking of other muscle groups, kind of a dishonorable mention here is the squat ski. So I've seen some people successfully use the squat ski in their DEKA events, but a lot of people who try this end up burning out in the back half because you have the bike and the tank coming up soon, and both of those are very lower body focused. So if you use your leg muscles here to create a squat when you're in the ski, you could be causing them to fatigue early when you still need them for the bike and tank later down the line. And that's the same reason I don't recommend that plyo ski either, because both the squat ski and the plyo ski waste energy and are not as efficient as just standard skiing. So form aside, we're gonna look at some pacing strategies, and these are fairly simple as well. And basically here, you wanna find a damper setting and a pace that you can maintain for all 500 meters without spiking your heart rate and your breathing rate. And boiling all of that down to my main tip with the ski is practice. Practice is key. The more you practice the ski, the more efficient you'll get with your pacing, with your breath, your heart rate, and of course your form. So just spend some time on the ski, get used to it, and get faster. All right, cruising right along, we're going to the farmer carry zone 6. So for our basic rules on the farmer carry, we have females carrying 40 pounds in each hand and males carrying 60 pounds in each hand. You have to go down and back a 10-meter stretch 5 full times down and back to equal 100 meters. So again, we have some pretty basic rules, but we can dive into the details with some extra form and strategy. First off, instead of just grabbing the dumbbells and running across the room as fast as you can, think about rolling the shoulder blades back and down. Will help you engage the lats and the upper back, and that will help you handle the load better. Plus, it opens up your lungs so you can breathe better too. And second here, you can let the dumbbells tip forwards or backwards to rest on your hand as your fingers start to fatigue. And next up, for some strategy and training tips, here's what to know. First off, don't put the weights down. I know it's hard at first, but this will definitely save you the most time. If you're having to put down and pick up the weights, that's going to waste several seconds in the process. So if you can take your time and just maintain that grip strength on the dumbbells, that's going to save you the most time overall. So your first goal with training is to build up your grip strength to where you can hold the dumbbells for the full 100 meters. To do that, you can always practice the farmer carry at 100 meters, but increasing the weight slightly, or you can increase the distance slightly and maintain the correct weight. Or if you wanted to add some different grip exercises to your routine, you can always add some dead arm hangs or some deadlift lockouts. Those are just a couple of my favorites. It's starting to rain outside a little bit and my gym has a tin roof, so if you can hear it, apologies. So my next tip here is to round off the corners if you can. So when you're carrying the dumbbells at the end of the lane, you're gonna make a little bit of a U-turn at the end instead of just stopping, turning, and going back. This could potentially save you some time, but it's always good to practice both to see which one you're better at. And if you have multiple lanes of competitors or you have a very narrow farmer carry lane, then you might have to do the stop, 2-foot tap, and turn. Just remember, both feet have to touch the line each time. And the last strategy tip here is to increase your walking pace. If you're able to power walk those dumbbells down the line, then of course you're gonna save some time too. And that's all you need to know about DEKA Zones 5 and 6. That also means that we've completed the first 6 in the front half of our DEKA events. So the next 4 zones, the last 4 are where things tend to get a little bit more spicy. So you definitely don't want to miss the next couple of videos in the Deka Strategy series. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. And let me know if these videos are helping you in your training for DEKA events. That's the whole reason behind this series, is to help you improve your time and be more confident in your DEKA events. So let me know how your training's going. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay healthy. Bye.